Welcome to TRX Live. Today, we are going to be working on neck decompression. So if you have a tendency to get tech neck or tightness in your upper neck, this session is for you. My name is Chris Mentars. I'm a physical therapist and TRX master instructor. And today we're going to do a 15-minute session with layered mobility and rocking to help improve our posture and get us feeling better. So let's go ahead and get started. What we'll need for this session is a yoga mat and a rocker. The rocker does a lot of great things. One of them is releasing the upper neck. And that has to do with the size and the configuration of it. Well, let's go ahead and get started in a quadruped position. Stack your knees under your hips and your hands under your knees. And we're going to start moving into what we call a cat-cow. So this is a great yoga movement. It's a great physical therapy movement. It's overall good for our mobility. Now, this is an intermediate session. What does that mean? Let's talk through this position a little bit. So as we move into what we call flexion and extension of our spine, we want to call this articulation. So take your time and move every little joint. Let your shoulder blades sink together at the bottom. Let the head come up at the top, reflect that tailbone upwards, and then reverse the process. Push through the ground, through your shoulders, gently grounding upper back, lower back, pelvis. Now here we're talking about our neck, so take a moment to let your neck relax. Let your neck succumb to gravity so we can start that decompression. Push through the ground a little bit more, really round that back out, release the head to the left, into the right a little bit, allowing gravity to start to release those muscles. Great job, and come back one more time each way. Extension, articulate every single joint. Push through the ground, slowly round upper back, lower back, releasing the head, pushing through the ground with your arms. Great job. So there we had it. Articulating through the spine to start to open our bodies a little bit. We're going to continue that now, so let's grab our rocker and we're going to place it on lockdown mode. So here, it's not going to move on us, but we're going to move on it. So start with your butt on the ground comfortably. We're going to lay back so the lower rib cage is on the rocker. From here, we're going to take the hands around the head, and then we're going to start to articulate. So I'm going to leverage the rocker and just slowly start to move my body. So that's my challenge to you here. I'm not looking for very big motions, slow motions. We're going to go 2 or 3 movements, and then we're gonna sneak on down. So here we are again, articulating. And we're just gonna work our bodies over the rocker, starting to open up that thoracic spine. So 2 or 3 articulations, slide down just a little bit more. So once we start to get to that area in between the shoulder blades, this is where I want you to take your time. We tend to get a little tight through that thoracic spine. So as we're articulating into flexion and extension, just like we were in our camel, I want you to also move sideways a little bit. So here we can start to add side bending, relaxing the head, supporting it with our hands, articulate, move down a little bit more. So now I'm in a pretty sweet spot. I have that rocker right in the area on my upper shoulder blades. I'm almost getting a soft tissue release of my lower upper traps here, and it feels wonderful. Don't forget about adding side bending. Now that we're up higher, let's also add our arms. So reach the arms up, not back, just up. Decompress. Start to scrub the hands sideways, leveraging your body over the rocker, maybe even reaching towards the wall, towards your head, reaching, allowing your body to decompress. Release that neck just a little bit. Think of the crown of your head getting tall. One final inhale, exhale, release. And support the head. Great job. Come on out of that. So there we had a full thoracic spine mobility, working on articulation. We're going to continue now, and we're going to go into our quadruped side stretch. So join me. We are going to get on our mat again, and here we are in our quadruped position. This time, set the knees and feet up just a little bit wider. We are going to windshield wiper our legs off to the left. So as I windshield wiper my legs off to the left, it starts to create this side bending through my trunk. I'm going to embrace that side bending and reach my left hand in front of the right hand. From here, sit back on to the right elbow, bend that body sideways, and then just relax. Here we are in this nice side bending stretch. Think about the thumb rotating up towards the ceiling, almost like Fonzie would back in those days. I say that to all the young kids now, they don't know who it was. For those of you who remember, thumbs up, hey. Now walk your fingers forward, like your Spider-Man or Spider-Woman, then further sit the hips back. 2 more breath cycles here, releasing into the stretch, allowing that body to relax. Great job. And let's come on out of that. Let's walk through the other side. Knees wide, windshield wipers now off to the left. So my feet are coming to the left of my body. The right hand's gonna come in front of my left hand, bend sideways, and then relax into that stretch. My weight is on my forearm, and I'm just able to lean into that stretch. We wanna make sure we're not getting any pinching in the shoulders or neck. We wanna be cautious of that. The stretch is not here. The stretch should be through the side of our body. Thumb up to the ceiling. Sink into that stretch a little bit more. Release the neck, articulate through the neck. Maybe take an opportunity to look left and look right a little bit. Walk those fingers forward, Spider-Man or Spider-Woman. Sit back just a little bit more. 2 more deep breaths in this position. Opening up that rib cage, opening up that thoracic spine. Adding mobility to these sections will help our neck be healthy. Go ahead and relax out of that. Now, again, sandwiching these exercises, we're gonna move into our lat rock. So we're gonna put the rocker in lockdown, and we're gonna move into a sideways position. Go easy here. I'm gonna orientate my body perpendicular to the rocker and find that rocker right on that muscle in my armpit of that lat. From here, I'm just gonna relax. It doesn't take a lot. What's nice is the rocker is relatively smaller than a lot of other soft tissue products, so I'm not all the way up on it, okay? Let's articulate the neck. So from here, release the neck, get long. Let the head maybe fall to the left or a little bit, or right a little bit. Go easy. Don't feel like you need to knock yourself out. Quality is important. When we're doing mobility work, we want to make mobility gains over days and weeks, not sets and reps. Now rock the body sideways a little bit. So here we're pinning that tissue down and moving my body on it. So it's almost like a pin and stretch technique, which is great. Getting the tone out of that. Move the body sideways a little bit. Again, now articulate through the rib cage. So now here I'm getting a little bit of camming. So the rocker is going to make small little movements, allowing me to further release that tissue, improving the blood flow to that tissue, helping with the tissue quality. Great job. Let's go ahead and get the other side. So I'm going to reorientate my body. Make sure my rocker is on lockdown. Sideways, orientate the body. Find that lat. We want to be on the muscle tissue. We don't want to be on the rib cage here. Then release your body. Great job. So we call that the R&R technique. Relax and release. Remember, we're not just laying on a tissue device to miscellaneously grind the tissues down. This is to take the tone out of tissues. So the breathing, the movements, the mindset of what you're doing on here all counts. Move sideways, open things up, get that neck tall, release the neck. Let gravity help you out here. A lot of times gravity is not our friend, but it doesn't hurt to allow gravity to help pull us into positions. Here we're getting relaxation, passively moving. About 10 more seconds here. Great job releasing that lat. Lat rock, great job. From here, we're gonna do a Sphinx pose with upper neck mobility. So we've really enhanced thoracic mobility in all 3 planes of motion. Now we're gonna start to target that neck a little bit. So Sphinx pose looks like this. Hands and elbows under our shoulders, spine long. We're gonna release our body, so take the opportunity to relax the hips and shoulders. Since my arms are supported, this position gives me a window of opportunity to articulate or move through the neck. So join me in bending your head side to side a little bit, left to right. Again, we do not have to be at end range in order for these motions to be beneficial. I could add a little bit of rotation. It's going to be smooth and controlled. I don't know if you could hear that in the microphone, but my neck sounds a little bit like popcorn, so I apologize if there's any noise coming back through the microphone. Check this move out. Relax the shoulders, called a chin tuck, go gentle, please. It's almost like you're giving yourself a double chin. You're just gonna tuck the chin back slightly and then come back off. Again, this is one where we don't have to be at end range. Here we're starting to use the deep flexors of my neck to create motion while we're getting lengthening and the suboccipital muscles, those muscles at the top of the head. Get 3 or 4, and that'll do you. Now we're gonna start to wind down this sequence by releasing the upper neck. So we said the suboccipital spine, very, very important. So the rocker is gonna be in lockdown position. Again, what's nice about this small rocker versus some other soft tissue devices, my head is gonna be in neutral. It's not gonna be way up off the ground. Not that you can't do a release in that position. However, we know there's something about good posture and physiologic neutral that our bodies do like. So join me laying on your back. You choose what you want to do with your feet. You want to be in a relaxed position. And then I'm going to position the head with the suboccipital spine, so that area almost between the ears where we felt that stretch before on the rocker. And then I'm going to release and relax my body. So since the rocker is on lockdown mode, it's not going to go anywhere. So what I could do is breathe. And the first thing we're going to do in this position is add active motion. So remember those small little chin tucks that we were doing in our Sphinx position? I invite you to go ahead and work through those little chin tucks. Micro movements here, micro movements, like you're just saying yes a small, tiny bit. After again, 3, 4, 5 of those, let's turn our heads like we're saying no. So I'm looking over the left, looking over the right, just small motions, really only moving and targeting that tissue. And what you'll notice as you start to take that range of motion further, there might be muscles up almost under your ear that are sore, so feel free to hang out on those a little bit. Do what feels good. Scan the tissue, looking to the left and to the right. Again, we're using active motion here to create a little bit of soft tissue release and create a little bit of joint decompression. Let's go ahead and bring our heads back to neutral. Now, we're going to do what we call passive joint motion. So we're going to take our left hand and place it on top of our forehead. Relax the neck. Now, I am going to use my hand to create neck motion. It takes a little concentration to relax the neck and use the hand, but it's worth the chase because now we're getting mobility into the joints and soft tissues without using muscles. So this is going to be our true decompression. So I could use my hand to make circular motions of my head over the rocker. We can go back to the nods, but do what feels good to you. We're going to go about 15 more seconds with the left hand, and then you guessed it, we're going to use the right hand. Continue to breathe. Allow your body to be heavy. Allow your shoulders to open up to the ceiling. Let's let the left arm relax to the ground, right hand on the forehead. Start to make micro motions. Release the neck. The visual I think about when I'm doing this is imagine you had a wood plank, and that wood plank would be on a ball. Now to move the ball without any strings attached to the ball, you simply move the wood plank. The ball will move under the plank, and that's what we're doing here. So I'm using my hand as you are to create passive motion in the neck. Breathe, release yourself. About 15 more seconds here. Find that spot that's most tender, and then relax your head on it. Great work. Let's come back to neutral spine, and let's just finish with a couple deep diaphragmatic breaths. So what I am going to do as well, and this is an advanced technique, is take the edge and place it up under that same region we were just at, and now I'm not going to move. Again, the pressure of the edge and the focal pressure is going to give us trigger point release. I don't need to do anything else. So join me, relax, and then breathe. Think about pulling air into the belly, into the diaphragm, exhaling out, allowing your face to relax, allowing the shoulders to open up to the ceiling. Inhale through the belly, through the lower rib cage. Exhale, release, relax. Now, I'm going to invite you to stay here as long as you want as we close things down, but there you had it. So we did a little bit of mobility, a little bit of rocking, all collectively to help improve our posture, to help decrease the tone in our neck muscles. please revisit the session. There's lots of value here. My name is Chris Nentars, and I hope to see you more on TRX On Demand.